Hi, everyone. My name is Erin Elizabeth Weinberg. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. Welcome if you're new here. Welcome back if you've been here before. I really appreciate you choosing to spend some of your time with me today. I want to talk about how choosing to not worry about something doesn't mean that you don't care about it. Okay, so basically, not worrying doesn't mean that you don't care. So, for a lot of us, most of us have been socialized into like, if I care about this thing, or if this particular thing means a lot to me, then I have to, if it's not going the way I want, or if I'm worried about the outcome, or if any of that stuff is happening, then I need to abandon myself and abandon my peaceful state and my emotional state and just like spiral into like insanity and craziness and feeling completely out of control. Obviously, it's okay to have that type of reaction in the moment. We are human. We cannot get out of having the human experience. But what I want to talk about today is just identifying why doing that perpetually and continually just doesn't help us actually in the way that maybe we think that it's been normalized to help us or make us feel better or anything like that. So, the first thing about this is that if that is a reaction to every single thing and that's what you train your body and your nervous system to be doing all the time, then you're just going to start reacting like that to like every little thing. So it could just be, if you teach yourself that this is a normal reaction to have for like something that doesn't go my way, then anytime something doesn't go your way, whether it's you wanted this one parking spot, or this conversation didn't go how you wanted, or whatever, like if that's the programming we have in our body and we tell ourselves this is what it means to care about something, then we're just going to assign that to so many different things in our lives that actually doesn't help us if we're reacting like that all the time to everything. And so you need to really like look inward in yourself and ask yourself, okay, is this something that is actually helpful for me to be like reacting completely out of control? Or is this something where I can allow myself my reaction? So obviously, of course, again, we are human. It does make sense to have particular type of reaction to a situation, or to like maybe something unexpected or something that doesn't feel the best for you. But what we don't want to do is, get stuck in that emotional state. And if we can learn how to self-soothe and how to show up for ourselves and how to create this like peaceful, loving oasis in ourselves, that's like the ultimate level of energy mastery and like the way that you can offer your highest self to the world around you. So again, a lot of times people think like, okay, if I'm completely out of control and this thing happens, then that means I care so much about this thing. A lot of us are taught like, if I don't have this particular reaction to this particular thing, then that means I didn't care. And again, just we're going to give ourselves permission to have the reaction we need or want to have in a particular moment. But when we think about worrying about something long term over and over and over again, like chronic worry and chronic fear and chronic trying to control, that's us blocking our own energy from accessing peace. And then we can't actually offer a helpful emotional vibration to the world. We can't actually offer solutions or coming out the other side or feeling okay in our day-to-day moments of life if we're so focused on, oh my God, this thing didn't go my way, or is it going to go my way, or when am I going to get the answer? How am I going to do this? What it's going to be like? If we're constantly worrying and constantly trying to control, then we have not created peace within ourselves. And I just want you to think about when you've had to make a decision, or when you even worked on something, or just going about your day to day life. If you've had moments where you are really like in your own head and you feel really blocked and really worried and really like you can't calm down, just think about how that energy feels versus what energy feels like when you are just still and peaceful, and you just kind of, you can be really present, you've accepted your circumstances, right? So think about those two different energies, and think about if you're trying to work on a project, if you're trying to come up with a solution, if you're trying to figure out, what's the best course of action for me to take in this particular moment or this particular thing going on in my life. If we're in that moment of just like things are spiraling and we feel so out of control and like we can't do anything, we can't allow any helpful moments to come out of that for ourselves. And so, step one of doing anything is just calm the hell down, just calm down. And easier said than done. This takes practice, right? It takes practice to learn how to self soothe, takes practice to learn how to like tap into ourselves and to be clear about who we are and what our boundaries are, right? But if this is a level of faith within yourself and within like your higher power supporting you, you can think about it that way too. So if you are like, oh my God, I need to control everything, I need to do everything, this is out of control, this is whatever, like that's a survival technique that we've learned over all these years of evolution in the human body, which is fine and again is there. But eventually you have to get to the point where you're like, I trust myself, I trust my higher power, I know I can handle this as it comes. And so maybe you get some news that you weren't, you're surprised to get, or things didn't go exactly how you thought, or maybe something was a little more challenging than you thought. That's fine. And again, the internal reaction, the immediate reaction can be, oh my God, I need to freak out, I need to control something, I need to do this. But there's something about surrendering, there's something about allowing your higher power to do that for us, which we cannot do for ourselves. And when you're in that constant state of worry, like it's, you can't help yourself in that way. You can't offer a vibration of like peace and solution oriented and figuring things out if you haven't mastered that energy within yourself. So for example, if you're kind of just, going along in life and just moving things forward and you're just pushing, 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 trying to figure out, right? That's usually not when solutions can come to you. Solutions come to us, peace comes to us, acceptance comes to us, usually after we have a moment of being still, if we have a moment of being present. That's why some people can say they have these amazing ideas in the shower, because that's the only time maybe that they give themselves permission to be still and like to connect with themselves ever, maybe in their whole day, right? I mean, I don't know, but so moments where you're on a bike ride or you're on a walk or you're in a drive in your car, or like where you have to like physically be still and your body is occupied with doing something, when you can tap into that energy within yourself of like being peaceful, that's when a solution comes. That's when you can be guided to do the next right action. But if you're in this constant worry, 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 right? All of us have experienced that feeling of being so worried that like we can't sleep, we can't eat, we can't think, we can't even make a decision. Just again, tap into what to those two energies feel like differently. And then your work around not worrying to not care. Not caring doesn't mean that you just don't care, like you completely abandon what you want or what you think about the situation. Not caring means like you're not trying to control. It doesn't mean that you don't control it. It doesn't mean that you um, don't want the highest outcome. It doesn't mean that you give up completely and abandon yourself and what you want. That's not what that means. What we're talking about here with like not worrying and not controlling, or not caring and not controlling, is understanding that like I can let go of this and I can have enough faith that it's going to turn out in the way that's best for me and everyone involved, without me having to like hold it so tight and control it so much and be thinking about it 24/7. And so what we actually want to think about with this is, what are the ways that I feel like I need to control this because I'm scared of the outcome. I'm scared of a particular outcome. I'm scared of something not working out for me. I'm scared of, something happening where I won't be given what I wanted. And usually that's connected to some survival thinking of like, well, if this doesn't happen, then this won't happen and then I'm going to die. Right? That's like our deep programming as human beings. So you need to think about, okay, if I'm not worried about this 24/7, again, it's a sign of faith. Like, can I surrender this to my higher power? I've done my part. I've done everything I can. I've taken responsibility for myself. And now I have faith that my higher power loves me and cares about me. And if that's true, then why do I feel like I need to control and micromanage this 24/7? And so there's a lot of fear here around like the need to control and care about it and think about it so much, really comes from a place of like not having faith that you won't be taken care of and something will happen to you, which again is fine. We're going to honor that and we want to allow that, because if you don't let that voice speak to you, then you're never going to be able to let something go. So maybe taking some time and being like, what am I afraid of what's happening here? Like, what am I afraid it's not going to turn out to be a particular way if I'm not like controlling it and holding it so tightly and trying to manage it so much. So getting clear about within yourself, like what is my fear stories that are going on here that I might need to release? Why do I feel like I need to like care about this to the point that I'm emotionally out of control, that I can't even take care of myself? Because again, you want to think about this as like we've all had those instances in life where we're so focused on something, we're thinking about something so much that we can't even like take care of ourselves. And then think about, are you the best version of yourself to be able to offer that to the world around you when you're like that? The answer is no, of course, but just thinking about that, right? So if you're in the place where you're so, and this isn't a judgment because I know we all go there, but this is just to kind of pull us back to center and focus on how can I be present for myself, and how can I make sure I'm taking care of myself. And as long as I'm doing X, Y, and Z thing, then I know I've done all I can. And then it's easier. It's not easy, it is a practice to like surrender and give things to your higher power, to God, to the universe, to whatever you call it. But knowing that if I really truly believe in abundance, if I truly believe that I am being looked out for, if I truly have faith in my own ability to handle things that come up, then, I can let this go. I can like not be worried about it 24/7. And again, this doesn't mean you're living in la la land. This doesn't mean you're denying things that have to happen. This doesn't mean that you aren't willing and are taking responsibility for your side of it. But this is just where we want to ease up on the control a little bit. This is where we want to ease up on like the constant worrying, and instead maybe taking some time to imagine, what is the best case scenario? What do I want to have happen? Can I offer that vibration out to the world? Like, I would love if this and this happened, and knowing that you'll be okay no matter what. Again, this is easier said than done, especially people who've gone through traumatic things or things that don't feel the best. Like, I get it, but we just want to think about how can you show up as your best self in a way that you can remind yourself, like, I don't have to perform these ways I've been socialized to prove that I care about something, right? Not carrying like in a or not worrying in like a completely out of control way doesn't mean that you don't care. And it's actually the people who have mastered their own energy enough to be able to offer that vibration of peace and knowing and having faith that like I'm doing all I can and that's all I can do. Those people actually can contribute to the world the most, because we've been able, when you do that, we are able to hold our energy in a way that's actually helpful and appropriate to like the collective, instead of trying to control everything, trying to not let divine intervention help us to have things be how it should be. So you really want to look at the ways that maybe you feel like you need to do God's work for God. You need to do the universe's work for the universe, right? There's so many times like magical, okay, but like things have worked out in a way that we can't think of with our rational mind. And so that's why it's so important to just like put what you want out there, have faith, and then let it go. You don't need to drive yourself crazy about it. You don't need to question yourself every second. Should I be doing more? Should I be doing this? It's about self soothing yourself. It's about keeping your nervous system in check. It's about not making yourself totally vibrate out of insanity or like into insanity and like completely out of control feelings, when instead you can be like, I did everything I could. I know that I don't need to be worrying about this to the point that it's making me physically upset to prove that I care about this or prove that I'm, doing everything I can. You can do your work, then you can pray, you can offer it, you can meditate, you want to do what you can and then release it and know that you showing up as this embodied, full, peaceful energy is actually a way healthier and way more impactful way to you to reach solutions, for you to reach guidance, for you to reach your peaceful, calm, inner self, inner knowing that is our intuition that guides us to make these decisions. So this is about, again, not just you in the moment to relieve your own self and your own nervous system, which is good. We want that. We want everyone to feel comfortable and good. But this is also thinking about how much more can I offer the world when I can show up as a peaceful, refined, in tune vibration of myself, instead of someone who's like, you know, reacting to every single thing that happens all around me. Okay, so that's some stuff to think about. I hope you can find some peace within yourself, kind of release some things, let some things go. Thank you so much again for choosing to be here with me today. If you ever want any more information, all of that is linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.